So I've been shooting with the Sony a6700 for a couple of months now, run it through all kinds of tests, and I'm here to tell you, this is one amazing little camera. Sony a6700 is the latest and greatest crop sensor camera from Sony. It is at the top of their crop sensor line, features a 26 megapixel sensor, robust video features, and all of Sony's latest AI algorithms, all condensed into this tiny, wonderful little package. So let's dive into this camera and why I think there's no better gateway into the Sony Alpha lineup than the a6700. So first, let's talk about photos. Image quality is exactly what you'd expect from Sony. All the creative styles and picture profiles you might want to have a great base for editing. Now, Sony's come a long way in terms of their color science. I think Nikon and Canon purists might disagree, but I think all these new Sony cameras, the color science right out of the gate is incredible, and they're adding new creative styles and stuff kind of every new model, and so this has all those wonderful things you might expect, whether you want to just take straight JPEGs from the camera or if you are someone who likes to edit your photos. In low light, Sony does very, very good. I would say your best results are going to be up to 3200 ISO. Between there and about 12,800, you get mixed results depending on how much grain you like, but generally color noise remains pretty good until you get to that kind of 12,800 range. Video is similar. I found that about 6400 ISO, you can get grainy but usable footage, still maintain sharpness and color accuracy. It's got all the codecs you'd want, S-Log3, 4K. It can shoot intra-frame as well, which is really handy. It can also shoot 120 frames a second in 4K, as well as time-lapse options. And of course, all these can be recorded up to 422 10-bit color and sampling for all the post-production grading latitude you might want. And now if you've been following the channel, you've probably seen some of the stuff that I've shot with it. We did a couple shorts involving audio and three-point lighting. We did some kind of fun color grades in there. And let me tell you, all that color and all that stuff, that was all post-production. Nothing was in camera. All my lights are 55 Kelvin. That's just what I shoot at all the time. And so I've been extremely happy and very pleased with this performance color-wise. The a6700 does a sort of down-sampled 4K, which looks just spectacular, honestly. Really, the video coming out of it functions like a good cinema camera would. Autofocus is something that Sony's been really passionate in the last couple of years. The a6700 has all those latest algorithms. I found it to be extremely great, even in low light situations. And they've added all their new, planes, trains, automobiles, all that stuff in there as well. So for all the other kind of interesting things you might want to take a picture of. So you can rest assured that with the Sony a6700, you can get the shot no matter what it is or where it is. And really that leads me into why this camera is so great. I kind of see the a6700 as a sort of distillation of all of Sony's best technology. So, you've got the incredible AI autofocus algorithms in there. You've got the incredible video performance in there. And you kind of just boil it all down into this small package. It's almost like an appetizer platter of all of Sony's greatest hits, so to speak. It's highly customizable, and that's something I've always loved about Sony cameras. There's just lots of buttons, and every button can do whatever you want it to. Battery life on this has been very good. I love that you can close the screen down. This is something that actually somebody asked me about before with cameras, that you can flip that screen around. And so what happens is when you have that screen flipped around here, as you can see, I've turned on the camera, I just turned it on. So I'm taking pictures, but I don't know if you can even see, but there's no screen going at this time. So that's just like a really tiny way to save your battery. So if you're out shooting somewhere, you can have this, at your side, and it'll just be down here. You're just walking around, you're not doing anything. It's on, it's ready to take a picture, but what's happening is you're not seeing anything. And so once your eye goes there, then the screen activates. And so it's just a little silly way to save power. I have had a couple of shoots that have gone, about 2 hours, and I just had one battery, it wasn't even full, and it managed to last the whole shoot. So at least that's been my experience. And part of that is because I'm saving the battery power by doing that. And one other thing I have to kind of rave about is the grip. It feels like a camera. I can put my whole hand around this. It's very comfortable. I've walked around for several hours shooting, and it feels almost like an A7, like one of the larger ones. It's even better than the A7C II. And having that Pro grip just really goes a long way to making this a comfortable camera. Like I feel confident that if I needed to shoot all day with this, I could. So overall, this thing really is the definition of big things in small packages. It is the perfect gateway into the Sony Alpha line, whether that's for photo or for video. If you're just starting off in your photographic journey and you want something with great autofocus, great video capabilities, if you're wanting to have those big, Alpha cameras, or you're wanting to have an FX3 or even an FX6, if you start here, you're gonna build that foundation. You're gonna work with S-Log, you're gonna work with Sony's autofocusing algorithms, and it's going to just make that switch up to bigger and better cameras that much easier. But this functions as that great first step into a larger world. What do you think? Have you used the a6700? Do you wanna get one? Whatever it is, comment below, let us know. I've had a ton of experience, so any questions about the camera are totally welcome. Shout out to Delkin Devices. All the footage shot here today was shot using Delkin black cards. Check them out in a link in the description. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to take your camera out today. See you next time. But this functions as that great first step into a larger world. That's my Star Wars reference. First steps into a larger world.